Terminating decimals and repeating decimals.
Exactly. So we said that we have terminating decimal and we have repeating decimal. So in this lesson, inshallah, which is lesson 3.1 in your book, we have to learn to write rational numbers in equivalent form. What is equivalent forms? So we can write it in a decimal form, we can simplify it as a fraction, and so on. Our vocabulary for this lesson: rational number and relatively prime. So we want to understand the both two vocabularies which is in front of you. So you can now take a note about the vocabulary which we have to study it today, or which we have to cover it in our lesson today. Okay? Ready? A rational number. A rational number is any number that can be written as a fraction, right? And we said we can write it like A over D, or A over B, N over D, whatever. Any number, we can write it in a fractional form, but we have a condition, which is D is not equal 0. What's D donated for, grade 7? We said yesterday, what's D donated for? D donated for the denominator. So the denominator, it's impossible to have it equal 0, because any number divided by 0, it will be meaningless. Okay? What is the relatively prime? The goal of So we want to know what is the, sorry?
Nothing.
The goal of simplifying fractions is to make the numerator and the denominator relatively prime. What is the meaning of relatively prime? Is there anyone know what is the meaning of this sentence, of this expression, grade 7? What's the meaning of relatively prime? Relatively prime numbers have no common factors other than 1. Have no common factors other than 1. Let me give you an example about this. When we have a fraction like 75 over 25. If we want to simplify those two numbers, it will be how many?
3.
It will be equal 3, right? If I want to write the number 3 in a fractional form, so it will be what? It will be 3 over what?
1.
3 over 1.
1, right? But if I have 36 over 15, how we are going to simplify this number? Let me ask you a question. 36 can divisible by 15?
No.
No. So we have to search about a common number. 36 and 15, both of them can divisible by how many?
3.
3, exactly. So if we will start to divide by 3, then the numerator, 36 divided by 3, it will be how many? It will be
12.
12, exactly. And 15 divided by 3, it will be how many?
5.
5.
It will be equal 5. Is there any common factor between 12
No.
and 5 except 1?
No.
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 So we can't find more simplify than this step. It's 12 over 15. So in this case, we are going to say that this one is relatively prime or prime relatively. Let's back to our presentation. Then you can see the presentation, grade 7.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we said the relatively prime numbers have no common factors other than 1. So understood what the meaning of relatively prime numbers now?
Yeah.
Is there
Actually, I
any-
can see the board, not the.
And me, I can see the PowerPoint. And me.
Okay, so it's not sharing? Just a second. Then understood what the meaning of relatively prime?
Yeah.
If there anyone can tell me again what is the meaning of relatively prime?
It is the number that have no factors other than 1.
Thank you so much. It is a number which we, or a fraction which it don't have any other common factor except 1. So let me give you an example again. You can often simplify fractions by dividing both numerator and denominator by the same non-zero integer. You can simplify the fraction like 12 over 15. Then I can simplify to 4 over 5. 4 over 5, is there any number we can simplify it, or if there is a common number between 4 and 5 except 1?
No.
No. In this case, we can say that 4 over 5 is what?
Relatively prime.
Relatively prime.
Exactly. So this number now, it will be relatively prime. By dividing, how did you find, or how did you change from 12 over 15 to 4 over 5? By dividing both the numerator and denominator by 3. So if I want to represent those two examples, 12 over 15, so you are going to divide it, this box into 15, this box into the large one into 15 boxes, and we are going to shade it the 12 part, which is part over whole. And when you will simplify, you are going to divide the large one into 5 boxes, and you are going to shade only 4. Both two cases, you have the same amount. Okay, why? Because 12 over 15, when you are going to simplify it, it will give you 4 over 5. So this is called equivalent fractions. It's clear? So the total area is shaded. 12 over 15 equal 4 over 5. Now it's your turn, grade 7. Simplifying fractions. Simplify 16 over 80. Both of them we can divide it by how many? 16
4.
over 80. Okay, divisible by 4. 16 divided by 80. One of you told me 4, and the other said 16. Could you please try to do it by yourself? Please try to do it by yourself.
1 over 5.
1 over 5. How did you find 1 over 5?
I made 16 divide 8. It's gonna be
Divide
2.
8. Type. Let me check with you. The first one said 16 over 80, right? Who said divided by 4?
Word.
Well, okay. If we are going to divide it by 4 words, the answer, it will be how many? The answer,
4 over 20.
4 over 20. Yes.
Okay, Miss, it's gonna be the same answer, but with one more step.
Okay, so in this case, we have one more step. Exactly, exactly. We have one more step. Why did you say that we have one more step? Why you decided that this answer is
4
not in
is smaller than 8.
because
Because you can still simplify it.
yes, because we can still simplify. We still have a common between 4 and 20. It's not in a relatively prime. For this reason, so we have to continue to divide it by 4, right? Then the answer,
Teacher,
the,
we could have just divided it by 8 from the beginning, right?
okay, just a second, I will check your answer with you, right? So this is Word's suggestion. He told me at the beginning that we have to divide it by 4, right? And then once we will divide it by 4, it becomes 4 out of 20. He said we have to continue because we still have a common between 4 and 20, and this fraction now is not relatively prime. I told him yes, and we divided by 4 and divided by 4. So the final answer is 1 over 5. Hima, you told me that we, from the beginning, we will divide it by 8, right? Is this you, Hima?
Miss, I'm the one who said that.
Who said? I'm sorry.
Marwa.
No, I said divided by 8.
Who said divided by 8?
Me,
Marwa.
Zena, I'm
Zena
Zena.
said after me.
Zena. Okay, ya Zena. I'm going to work with Zena's suggestion. She told me I'm going to divide it by 8. Could you please help me to find the answer? Grade 8, grade 7? Huh.
Yeah.
16 divided by 8. Okay. What is the answer? 16
2.
divided by 8, it would be equal
2
to.
over 10, and
Okay.
then 1 over 5.
Over 10. Is this one
Yes.
now written in a relatively prime?
Miss, no, the first
No,
the
you can
Oh.
still
upper
divide
one
it
is
by
smaller one.
So we still need to divide it by how many? It's 2 over 10. It's 2 over 10. So we still need to divide it by how many?
Divided by 2.
Divide by
By 2. Okay. So we are going to divide it by 2. We will continue. Why we have to continue, grade 7?
Because it's not relatively prime and we still have to simplify it.
It's not a relatively prime. So here we said that we will divide it by 2. Okay. I want my dear student now to note something. If you look at the first number here, this one was how many? Was 4, right? And the second one was 4. If I'm going to multiply 4 by 4, it will be how many?
16.
16, right? Check with me the second option or the second answer from Zena. She told me divided by 8 and then divided by 2. If you will multiply them together, it will be
16.
16. So we can say from the beginning, I can divide this number by 16, right? So I can find the answer directly, 1 over 5. So as you see in front of you, we have different ways to find the answer. It depends on you are going to start with which number, but don't stop till you will find a relatively prime to write this number in simplest form. Is that clear? So the first answer was correct. I agree with you 100%. But you have to continue. 4 out of 20, we still have a common, more than 1. Okay, so you have to choose. 4 divided by 4, it will be equal 1. And then 20 divided by 4, it will be equal 5. For the second answer, she decided to start with -8. Okay, agree with her. Then she found that the answer was 2 out of 20. 2 out of 20, we still have a common. It's not in a relatively prime. So she continued and she said divided by 2. So in the answer, it will be equal 1 over 5. If you can find the answer from the beginning, 4 times 4 equals 16, 8 times 2 equals 16. So we will divide it both by 16. So the answer, it will be 1 over 5. In this case, or second case or third case. By the end, we are looking for the number written in a relatively prime. Is that clear for all of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We have to remember 0 divided by any number should be equal 0. A divided by A should be equal 1. For A not equal 0, which means any number divided by any number, but both of them have the same value, so the answer should be equal 1, like 5 divided by 5, like 10 divided by 10, and so on. When we are going to write a negative number, if I want to write it, we can write negative 7 over 8 or 7 over negative 8. We have to write it like negative 7 over 8. So this negative, we are going to put it outside, and all of these have the same answer. But it's better to put the sign outside like this, negative 7 over 8. And it will be related to the numerator. Any questions so far about this part? Any questions about this part? Okay, so let's move to the next part. Let me show you also how you are going to find the answer by factorizing. 16, you can say that 16 equal 1 times 4 times 4. And 80 equal 5 times 4 times 4. Then 16 is a common factor, so we are going to divide it by 16 directly. This is in case if you are going to expand or to find the options, how you will write 16. So 1 times 4 times 4. So this is another method if you want to use it to find the answer, or where is the common factor between the numerator and the denominator. How we are going to simplify this question, my dear students? Negative 18 over 29. Negative 18 over 29. How we will find the answer? Is there anyone can tell me?
We're gonna answer it normal, and then we're gonna see if it's negative or not.
I'm sorry, say again, please.
We're gonna answer it normally, and then you will see if it's negative or not.
Okay, is there any common factor between 18 and
No, miss. No.
29?
No.
3.
No, 29, 29 is called what? Grade 7. 29 is called what?
Prime numbers.
Excellent, excellent. 29 is a prime number. Is there anyone can tell me what the meaning of prime number?
They are numbers that can't be divided only with one. 29 divide 1 will give me 29. There is no anything else give me 29.
You are amazing student, but let me add something very small. You said a right answer, but a prime number, it is any number can't divisible by any number except 1 or itself. Okay, then if you will try to divide 29 by any number, you can't except 1, because 29 divided by 1 equals 29, and itself, which is 29 divided by 29. If you will find a number like this, so we can classify this number, it's related to prime numbers. For this reason, we can't find any number, any common factor between both of them. But I will start to say 18, we can write it like 2 times 9. 29, it's 1 times 29. There are no common factors. For this reason, we have to write the same number, because already 18 and 29 are relatively prime. So in case if you have a number, prime number in the fraction, so we are going to keep the number if we can't find any common factor between the numerator and the denominator. For this reason, we said that the answer will be the same. What about this question, grade 7? 18 over 27.
It should be divided by 9.
Divided by 9.
Excellent. It should be divided by 9. Very good. Very good. Is there anyone?
Actually divided by 3.
Yes.
2 over 3.
Exactly. Exactly. Someone said divided by 9 and someone said divided by 3. What is the difference between the both two cases? The first one, when he said 18 over 27, you told me divided by 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try together.
Miss,
Yes.
18 will not be, it will give me 1.5 if we divide it by 27.
By 27. So we 18 not divisible by 27, Ruqayya, right? Right? You told me it gives you a decimal number. For this reason, we are going to find a common number between 18 and 27. So the first one said 18 divided by 9. Let me check with you. 18 divided by 9.
Gonna be 2 over 3.
It will be 2 over 3. Yes. If this number now written in a relatively prime,
Yeah.
yeah, so we are going to stop till this point. Okay, who said that we will divide it by 3?
Me.
Who? Ibrahim. Okay, Ibrahim. This is 18 divided by 27 or over 27. And you told me that we want to divide it by 3. Agree with you, Mr. Ibrahim. Okay. Could you please start to count simplify with me, Ibrahim? 18 divided by 3
Equal 6.
equal 6. Right. Okay. Then 18 divided by 3 equal 6. And 27 divided by 3 equal
9.
9. Is this fraction now, Ibrahim, relatively prime or we have to continue?
No, it's relatively low.
Relatively prime? 6 and 9. Both of them can be divisible by any number?
Yes.
Yes.
Be divided again.
Yes, so we need to divide again. Divided by how many? Divided
3.
by 3, right? Then 6 divided by 3, it will be equal to, and 9 divided by 3, it will be equal 3. What do you notice now? What do you notice?
Have one more step.
One more step, and if you will try to multiply, this one was 3, right? And this one was 3. When you will multiply them together, so the answer it will be how many?
9.
9, okay? So as I said, we have different ways to solve the question, but don't stop till you will find that the answer is written in
Relatively prime.
exactly, that the answer is written in relatively prime, exactly. So here someone started with 9, okay, then 18 divided by 9 equal 2, 27 divided by 9 equals 3. Now there is no common factor between numerator and denominator except 1. Okay, so thank you so much. This is written already in simplest form. Another one, he started with 3. It's okay, it's your choice. Then it's 6 over 9. He recognized that we still have a common factor between numerator and denominator. So we have to continue, which means we are going to say divided by 3 again. So it will become 2 over 3. 2 over 3, no common factor between numerator and denominator except 1. So the final answer, it will be equal 2 over 3. What else? There is a third way. What is the third way? We can note that 18 and 27, both of them can be divisible by how many? From the beginning. If I want to write this number, so I can write it as a factor. So 18, 3 times 3 times 2. 27, 3 times 3 times 3. What is the common number between both of them? It's 3 times 3. So for this reason, we will decide it from the beginning that we are going to divide it by 9. Is that clear?
Miss, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
If 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 there is if there is a negative in any number like this, like it was 18, negative 18 divide 27, we will remove the negative, yes?
You will remove the negative till you will finish dividing, but you have to keep the sign at the end of your answer. Let me give you a question. If you
So
have,
it will be negative 2 over 3.
yes, sure, yes, exactly. If you have negative 18 over 5, sorry, over 15. How we are going to solve this question, grade 7? If this number is relatively prime,
We can divide it by 3.
divided by 3, exactly. So we will divide it by 3. Then, now, negative 18 divided by 3, it will be how many?
6 over 5.
Negative 5.
It will be negative. Don't forget, because the first number was negative.
Next.
The answer, it will be negative 6 over 5. Okay, this one already written in relatively prime, so this is in simplest one. Okay, Rukaya? Rukaya, this is what...
Miss, it's not Ruqayya, it's me, Rahma.
Rahma, I'm sorry. I'm confusing between your voice. I'm so sorry. Okay, Rahma, this your question?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, honey. Any questions so far till this point? Okay.
No.
No.
What about if you have 17 over negative 35? Then we are going to use the same 17 over negative 35. 17 equal 1 times 17. 35 is 5 times 7. Is there any common factor between them? Is there any common factor between them, guys?
Yeah.
Where 17 and 35, where is the common factor?
Miss, can I ask a question?
There is no common factor. Why? Huh? Why? Because 17 is what?
Prime number.
Yes, 17 is a prime number. And we said that the prime number can't be divisible by any number except itself or 1. For this reason, this question, it's written already in relatively prime. To put it in simplest form, please avoid to keep a negative sign in the denominator. You have to remove it and put it outside the fraction. Okay, so if you have 17 over negative 35, you have to rearrange, you have to remove a negative to put it outside the fraction to make it negative 17 over 35. Okay, grade 7?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sure.
If there is a negative in a question, what do we do? If the answer will be with it negative or...
Yes, the answer, it will be negative, normal. You are going to divide, like the previous question, negative 18. So we have to say negative 18 divided by 3 equal negative 6. Okay, then in negative, we are going to deal with it normally. But in case if you have this not in the simplest form, why? Why? Because you note that we have negative where? In the denominator. So you have quickly rearrange and put the negative sign at outside the fraction. Okay, any other question? Any other question? Okay, so this is the first part which we were talking, how we are going to simplify the fractions. Now we have decimals. Now we have decimals. Decimals that terminate or repeat are rational. We explained this one yesterday. let me give you a quick idea about it today again. To write a terminating decimal as a fraction, identify the place value of the digit farthest to the right, that then write all the digits after the decimal point as a numerator with the place value as the denominator. So if you have terminating decimal, as I told you, terminating means that you have ends. And this is what we are going to talk about it by details, inshallah, next session. I want you today only to know the two different types of decimals which related to rational number. Then the first one is called terminating decimal, which we have a limited number after the decimal point. Okay, but repeating decimal, did you see this sign? What did I say about this sign yesterday? Above 3. What did I say about this one?
that we're making the calculator.
This one means what? 3 means it's
حاجة point
3.
13113.
No, this one I didn't put the sign over 1. Did you see? I put the sign only over 3, which means we are going only to repeat 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, then we will stop. Yes, just a second.
My network is very bad. It could let me out.